Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha as always, and I welcome you to my channel. I welcome you to all of my videos. I hope that you guys are enjoying them. I hope that you guys are learning from them, hopefully, and maybe it's changing you a little bit, which is what my ardent desire with these videos are, just to kind of have a little bit of impact on the people that are watching them. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about atmosphere and how obviously energy and vibration and all of that stuff is really, really important to an INFJ. But I think atmosphere is something that's also really, really, really important. I'll give you a quick example just as as a preamble to it. Recently, a few days ago, I was going to this workshop, a tantra workshop, where I heard really good things about it. A friend of mine recommended it. It was supposed to be non-sexual, just a lot of learning about how the body works and how the energy moves in our body, not only just sexually, but creatively and all that stuff. So I thought it'd be fascinating. I'm fascinated by energy in general. I love learning about it. I love studying this on my own. And so I decided maybe it would be a good idea for me to go and learn from an expert. I mean, can you imagine? I'm so lucky that I get to have these workshops here in Chiang Mai. By the way, this is my apartment behind me. I'll show you guys the whole thing maybe a bit later. But so I decided to go, obviously, and I was there, and it was busy because I guess a lot of people had heard good things about this individual. And so I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I started to get this painful sensation in my heart area, just around here. Nothing to do with it wasn't like a chest pain where you could be like, oh my God, I'm getting a heart attack. It was just this random sensation where I felt uncomfortable all of a sudden. I felt weird. I just don't know how to explain it. I wish I could. But it just felt really, really odd. I just felt uncomfortable all of a sudden. And it was so impactful that energy, all of a sudden, that surge within me was so negative that I was like, okay, I think it has to do with the place that I'm in and the energy of the people around me, perhaps, but more so probably the energy of the coordinator or the workshop teacher, right? The Tantra teacher. And so he was sitting there. He wasn't saying anything. The workshop hasn't started yet. We were just sitting around him in a circle, and we were just having a conversation. We were just all introducing ourselves to each other. I was just sitting there silently trying to figure out if this is the kind of space that I want to be in. And all of a sudden, I had this feeling. I was like, no, I don't feel right about this. I don't know what it is. It's maybe the energy with this person. Maybe it's the energy of someone in the room. Maybe the person next to me. I don't know what it is, but I need to get out of here. And so before the workshop started, he started speaking. And as soon as I could, without being rude, I left the room and I left the workshop. Now, this is a really, really simple example. I was lucky enough that I got the sensation right away and I could just run off. But sometimes you're in the middle of something and all of a sudden you get that sensation, that warning signal that tells you, okay, you need to get out of here, or there's something odd about this place, or there's some energy that's off in this place, or something that's just not right. And all of a sudden you get the sensation and then you can't run away because you're right in the middle of it. This happens to me on dates all the time. I don't date anymore, but when I used to a long time ago, there were always these instances, these things where I would sit down in front of this individual. Obviously, we're on a date, we're at a coffee shop, or we're at a restaurant, or wherever it might be, at a bar, and I'd sit down and instantaneously, almost sometimes, I get the sensation in the pit of my stomach or in my heart area or just somewhere around my body saying that this is not right for you, this person's not right for you, his energy is not right for you, this area is not right for you, this bar perhaps is not right for you, whatever it might be, and instantaneously I want to leave. Now, of course, in the past I was more of a people pleaser, and I didn't want to be rude. I had this weird thing about not being rude, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I shouldn't just leave. I just sat down. But now, obviously, I don't have any compunctions about that. Even leaving that workshop, even if he had started speaking, I would have no problem leaving, because preserving my energy and my mental sanity is more important to me than preserving someone else's sense of character or personality, or making sure that the other person feels better. I don't really care about that anymore. He's not even going to think about it. I'm one person among 1,000 that he probably sees in a year or a day or whatever. So it didn't really matter to me. All of it is all about preserving my energy and my sanity. And if the person in front of me on a date is not going to do that for me, or I mean, if his energy is so off that I can't barely sit in a coffee shop with him, then obviously this is not going to work out, right? But if I'm going to a workshop or if I'm hanging out with someone and all of a sudden I get the sensation, now, because I'm strong enough to do that, I have stronger boundaries, I will just leave right away. I've done this so many times. I've done this countless times now, where I walk into a situation, maybe a coffee shop, and all of a sudden I feel, this is not right. This area feels weird. This energy feels weird. Blah blah blah, and I'll leave. I've done this with jobs as well. I've had a couple of jobs where I walked in. I started the job. It was fine for the first month and a half or something. 2 months, and then all of a sudden I started feeling like there's something off, and it takes a little bit of time sometimes to gauge the energy of a place. Sometimes people are on their best behavior the first time you meet them. Sometimes when you first walk into a place, the energy is very damped down, or you're in a good place, you're very happy and energetic, so you don't actually really feel the negativity. So sometimes it will take you a little bit of time to get to that point where you can realize that the energy of the place or the person or the situation is not right. It doesn't necessarily mean that your intuition or your energetic sense was leading you wrong. Just because something is right in the beginning doesn't mean it's going to be right for the rest of its life, right? Sometimes you meet a person and they're amazing, their energy is awesome, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be friends with them forever and ever and ever. And then all of a sudden you realize as time goes on, as they reveal themselves to you and you reveal yourself to them, right? I mean, obviously it's a give and take, that this person's perhaps not the right person for you, or the best friend, or best person to be a friend of yours, or the best boss, or whatever it might be. Things change as time goes on. The reason I'm doing this video is because of atmosphere. If the atmosphere is so important to us, I really want you guys to start paying attention to the atmosphere of the places that you are going into. I'm sure you're doing this subconsciously because we are energy people, but I really want you guys to start doing it a little bit more consciously. So when you're going into a new place, even if it's just a bar that you're going to be at for maybe a couple of hours with your friends, start paying attention to it. Because what that does is that it teaches you about places and it teaches you about yourself. Sometimes you go into a place and you think to yourself, oh my God, I'm not going to like this place because I already know I'm not going to like this place. And then you go in and you actually like it, right? Mostly though, it happens the other way around, where you think, oh, this is going to be awesome, I'm so excited, it's going to be amazing, I'm going to go to this place, I'm going to live here forever, it's going to be my perfect spot, my ideal spot, and you go in and it sucks. And you think to yourself, how could I have been so wrong? This has happened to me several times as well, where I've gone into a place, a job, or with a person. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be with this person forever, or I'm going to be friends with this person forever, or I'm going to be at this job forever. And all of a sudden, a few months later or a few weeks later, I realized, shit, this is not the right thing for me, right? So this is not a bad thing. You're not being fickle. You're not being inflexible. You're not being stupid or rude or anything like that. There's nothing negative about this. It's all positive. But we need to start paying attention to it, because the more you know about these kind of energy things, the more you can kind of sense it quicker, right? That's what we want to do. We just don't want to have that lag period, because we hate confrontation and because we hate being rude. If there's a lag period, we have a hard time saying no to people. We have a hard time saying no to people and situations and jobs. And so if we can find out about energy and about atmosphere quicker, we can say no to it and walk away faster. That would be ideal for every situation. So whenever you go into a new situation, a new person, whatever it might be, wherever you are going through your day, you're going into your job, perhaps you're doing an interview with a person, or perhaps you are at a school and you're meeting a new teacher or a new professor, or perhaps you're traveling and you're meeting a new hostel mate or hotel mate, or you're just traveling around, you're walking around and a stranger starts talking to you. That always happens to us. Just kind of start paying attention to the atmosphere of the places and the people that you're visiting. Atmosphere, there's a difference between energy and atmosphere. Atmosphere is the general sense of the thing. Energy is very specific. Energy comes from from a person, or it comes from a place. It has a very tangible sense to it, I feel. It's a stronger feeling. It's a stronger... it's not as ethereal as atmosphere. Atmosphere is very ethereal. You can't actually really say that, oh, this atmosphere, you can't really put it into a box. Not that you can put energy into a box, although I think you can. I really feel like energy has more tangibility to it than atmosphere does. Atmosphere is very intangible. You can't really say, okay, this is what it is. Every person's going to have a different idea of atmosphere. Whereas I feel like energy is very... I think a lot of people will have the same sense about energy. If someone meets some person mostly every single person is going to have the same kind of idea about that individual. Of course, we're more savvy about that kind of stuff, so we find out things quicker. But in general, I feel like atmosphere is a little bit less tangible. So now, from now on, if you guys go into a room, or you go into a city, or you go into a job, or whatever it might be, start paying attention to the atmosphere of the place or the situation. Start paying attention to what is the aura of the person that you're meeting. Not just the energy. Energy, I feel, comes from this area. I feel like energy comes from the heart area, and that's the reason why it's so powerful, right? The heart field is really, really immensely powerful. But atmosphere comes from everything. It's from their brain, from their energies, from their endocrine systems, from their brainstem, from their pituitary. Everything inculcates atmosphere, whereas energy only comes from the heart area. So I hope that makes sense. That's the difference between the two. And so start paying attention to both of them, obviously. I'm sure you're doing energy already, but start paying attention to atmosphere as well, because we really do care about atmosphere. It really does matter to us. When we walk into a situation, sometimes it's energy, sometimes atmosphere. It can be used interchangeably, but as soon as we can start paying attention to it, we can start learning about it and about ourselves and what matters to us, what doesn't matter to us, and what kind of places suit us, what kind of places don't suit us. And that way we can kind of eliminate all those things that are sucking the energy and sucking us dry. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. If you guys have any questions at all, please message me anytime. I'm grateful that you guys are watching or listening to my podcast, or wherever you guys are listening to me or watching me on. I appreciate the support. And if you guys have any questions at all my contact information is in the description below, so you can gather my email address there, or my Facebook or Instagram. You can message me anytime, any place. If you guys have long questions about INFJ stuff, please email me, because I really don't like going on Facebook with such detailed answers, just because I don't want them to get our information either. So if you email me, it's all encrypted. No one's going to know what we're talking about. It's a techie thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Again, thank you so much, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.